guys, good evening and welcome to Football Intel, and I am your host, Dominion Chooks. Now, if you look, you know that I'm not always doing these shows alone. I'm always with my top-notch soccer analyst, Mr. Victor Sioku. And as you can see, he's not here in the studio today because he's unavoidably absent. He's currently out of town and he traveled for a very important function. And hopefully, he'll be back on the next segment of this show and he'll be with us and we'll always keep giving you guys those vibes. But for now, I'll be handling this particular segment all by myself. All right, still in the basking in the euphoria of the MTN 8. Beautiful game of football today. We saw Mamelodi Sundowns taking on Stellenbosch FC. Now, up till now, I'm still trying to wrap my head around the fact that Mamelodi Sundowns lost this game. You all know Mamelodi Sundowns. Now, if you check the total head-to-head stats of these two teams, Mamelodi Sundowns and Stellenbosch, they have met I think 14 times, if I'm not mistaken. And out of these 14 times, Mamelodi Sundowns have won, is it 9 times or 10 times? And Stellenbosch have had 2 wins and 2 draws between these teams. So you see that Mamelodi Sundowns have always had the upper hand. And going into this match at the Lucas Moripe Stadium today in Pretoria, South Africa, beautiful game. I'd expected Mamelodi Sundowns to put this game way ahead. But I was surprised in the first half of this game, Mamelodi Sundowns were making costly mistakes at the back. I was wondering what's going on. And most of the game, you could see Monkopa, the head coach of the Mamelodi Sundowns, he just looked clueless. Was just leaning on the plastic surface, glass surface or whatever, and was just looking at the game head on today. And he was speechless for most of the matches. Mamelodi Sundowns made so many costly mistakes at the back. I mean, Stellenbosch literally forced Mamelodi Sundowns into making expensive mistakes. And before you could see Mamelodi Sundowns playing this game, before they could come back into this game, it was when it was about 30 minutes to full time. That was when Mamelodi Sundowns started playing football. Now, first half of the game ended in a goalless draw. We went into second half. I was surprised to see Mamelodi Sundowns play the way they played from the very beginning of this game, and I was like, is it that Sundowns is bigger than Magopa or what? I mean, it's just a question I was asking myself, because I mean, this is not the Mamelodi Sundowns we watch. This is not one of the biggest club, if not the biggest club in the South African football, playing this way against Stellenbosch. I mean, we are talking about the MTN 8 semi-finals. I mean, Stellenbosch came out to play today. And they came up and said, yes, I know Mamelodi Sundowns, you guys are the giants of South Africa, but you see, this particular game, we mean business. They've literally forced these guys into error. Now, coming into the second half at the 62nd minute, we saw that bad tackle from Titus from Kekane. Kekane just, in fact, he had little contact with the ball and he just took off Titus from off the ground, and Titus was written in pain. For me, that was really uncalled for. And the referee, definitely, that was a penalty. No two ways about it. And of course, we saw Fawaz Basadien, come in and convert from the penalty spot. And he scored the only lone goal of that game. And it was Mamelodi 0, Stellenbosch 1. Now, I noticed that as soon as that goal came, Mamelodi Sundowns seemed to wake up from their slumber. But it definitely was too late for them to make a statement. Early in the first half, we could see Peter Shalulile getting one-on-one with the goalkeeper. But what happened? He shot the ball direct into the hands of the Stellenbosch keeper. I was like, this is not Peter Shalulile I know. Shalulile was supposed to have converted that ball from that spot. But from what I saw in today's game, I think Mamelodi Sundowns really have to wake up. Because the Stellenbosch I saw today was a different kind of Stellenbosch. And this was the Mamelodi Sundowns home. And the next game will be in Stellenbosch's home. So I wonder how Mamelodi Sundowns will have to come. I don't know how they will have to wrap their head around this and then come out with avenues and ways they can win this game. After the game, the head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns was interviewed, and he said that this loss today was like a wake-up call for Mamelodi Sundowns. Wow. We will see about that in the next leg, the second leg of this fixture. This is the MTN 8. And obviously, I mean, for the bookies tonight, a whole lot of people would have been disappointed, especially those who put all their bets on Mamelodi Sundowns. Apologies to you all, because I know you all have lost a whole lot of money. Well, personally for me, I think going into the next game, I think there's still chance for Mamelodi Sundowns because this is a team that has been consistent. But, you know, ever since the Rolali Mokwena transition and all the rest, I think the team is still trying to adapt to this man's playing pattern. But definitely, I mean, I'm like, this is something they really need to work on going into the going into the second leg of this MTN 8. Because if they do nothing about it, I am not sure Stellenbosch will just want to come and give it away to them. So obviously, this is not a good result, and I know Mamelodi fans of Mamelodi Sundowns out there are not happy. But I would love to get your thoughts in the comment section. What do you really feel about this match? What do you think? But for me personally, I felt that these guys from the beginning of the game, they made costly mistakes. They were not just connecting. Okay, I could see what's his name, Teboho Mokwena came very close to scoring, especially the second free kick where he hit it from that distance and he just hit the bar and was very close to scoring. But just as the saying goes, almost cannot kill a bird. So I think Mamelodi Sundowns. It's not over. It's football. Anything can happen. It's not over until it's over. So they have to go back to the drawing board and then, of course, look at the areas where they were faulting and then correct those areas and go into the next game. Well, my thoughts for the next game, the second leg of this matchup, well, Stellenbosch on their own hand, they played very good football and they would have scored more than one goal because this one goal they scored today is not over for them. It's not over because I felt they should have, converted more of the chances they had, at least score 2-3, so that they will know that if they're going into the second leg, they will have to preserve their score. But 1-0 to me is not enough to take away Mamelodi Sundowns because this is a team that have history. But not a good score tonight, but these guys can hold their heads up high, knowing fully well that they have the second leg to redeem themselves. And for me, if you would ask me, I think Mamelodi Sundowns would, I see them trying their best to come out and play this football. And of course, I see them coming out and correcting their mistakes in the next game. Just like the coach said, like I told you, he said earlier after the match, the post-match conference, when he said that it's a wake-up call. I just hope it's going to be a wake-up call for this team because Mamelodi Sundowns have so much history, arguably the best club in South African League. So what are we talking about? I wish them good luck in their next leg against Stellenbosch. Hopefully, Stellenbosch too. I see Stellenbosch not playing. I don't see Stellenbosch joking around. I don't see Stellenbosch giving this easily. So Mamelodi Sundowns really have to come up. They have to be on their A game to be able to take these guys out because as it stands now, Stellenbosch have the advantage and definitely they will be wanting to do everything it will take for them to maintain that advantage. And but it's football. Anything can happen, especially when it has to do with a team who has always had an edge over this. Like I told you earlier on, these teams have met over how many times, and Mamelodi Sundowns have had over 9 to 10 wins as against Stellenbosch 2. And then 2 draws. So definitely you see that these two teams are in different leagues of their own. But it's football. Anything is bound to happen. Who am I rooting for? I am still rooting for Mamelodi Sundowns. Yes, despite the fact that they made mistakes, it's possible to make mistakes. But most importantly, you have to correct those mistakes and see how you can move on. So I am still rooting for Mamelodi Sundowns to get to the finals of this MTN 8 and hopefully clinch the trophy. And it will be a very good way to start the season by winning this MTN 8 and going away with the prize money. So to all of you who are Mamelodi Sundowns fans, I know you might be disappointed with this loss, but keep your heads high because going into the second leg, I feel Mamelodi Sundowns will make up for their loss today. Like it was rightly said, it's more or less like a wake-up call. All right, at this juncture, I'm going to be drawing the curtain. I know most of you all are missing Mr. Victor. Like I said earlier, he's away on a very important trip. And by God's grace, he'll be here with me in the studio in our next segment. And then we'll give you guys those top-notch vibes like we always give. If you're watching this video for the very first time, welcome. This is Football Intel. Please do not exit this channel without hitting the subscribe button. And of course, clicking on the notification bell. Very important. You select all notifications so that you can be up to date with our latest content anytime we post them. And to those of you our subscribers, who I fondly refer to as our family members, I say thank you all for the likes and shares, for the engagement, for the encouragement, and for the comments on all our content. We are indeed grateful. Please keep the energy coming. Keep liking our videos, keep sharing our videos, keep commenting on our videos. Remember that those comments of yours help us know how you guys feel about the content which we create here, and of course ways on which we can go further. Until I come your way again next time, I still remain your host of Football Intel, Mr. Dominion Chooks, saying bye for now and Siabonga, South Africa.